medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education, but also the experience.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Cole. Shot hits the post. And the center feed to Lucas for shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
Welcome in, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center for game number 2 of our doubleheader. It features the number 15 ranked Bethel College Pilots, 11-2 overall, 3-1 in the Crossroads League, taking on your University of St. Francis Cougars, 7-5 overall, 2-2 in conference play. Today is Community Day with 80 young basketball players on hand to take in University of St. Francis environment here. Cougars dropped number 1 ranked Indiana Wesleyan University on Tuesday night, ending an 8-game losing streak in the Indiana Wesleyan series. The Wildcats' loss left a 4-way tie for the lead in the Crossroads League between Bethel, Indiana Wesleyan, Mount Vernon Naz, and Spring Arbor University. USF and Taylor University are tied for 5th place in the Crossroads League. In conference-only action, Bethel is number 3 in points per game, averaging 83.3 points per, and number 3 in average points allowed, 76.5. USF is number 8 in scoring offense, averaging 74, and number 8 in points allowed, giving up 80. USF is number 1 in Crossroads League, only 3-point field goal percentage, tied with Indiana Wesleyan at 41%. Bethel is number 2 in three-point field goal percentage defense at 32%. Travion Cruz for Bethel enters the game as the number 2 scorer in Crossroads League only games, averaging 24.3 points per. He has scored 30, 21, 25, and 21 points in Bethel's first 4 Crossroads League games. He's averaging 21 points per game overall. Connor Lotzenheiser is USF's top scorer in Crossroads League only games at 13 points per and number 21 in the Crossroads League. USF guard Austin Compton is number 5 in Crossroads League only field goal percentage, shooting 57% from the field, hitting 25 of 35. Hunter Hollowell is number 3 in three-point field goal percentage, shooting 54% on 7 of 13 shooting. So Hunter Hollowell was just outstanding in that win against Indiana Wesleyan. So too was Austin Compton for the Cougars. Looking at Bethel's last game, though, that was against Mount Vernon Nazarene University, where the Pilots lost it 83-74. Travion Cruz had a double-double, 21 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. He's been something else for Bethel this year. He ranks number 21 in the country, averaging 21 points per game. Number 9 with 273 total points. Number 1 with 32 steals, averaging 2.5 per game. Number 6 with 73 assists, averaging 5.6 per game. Number 38 averaging 8.5 rebounds per game. Number 17 with 111 total rebounds. Number 47 hitting 84% of his free throws. So that's Travion Cruz, which many people here in Fort Wayne remember. He went to Northside High School. He's only a sophomore at 6 foot, 180 pounds, and was a transfer from Jackson Community College. For St. Francis, once again, what a big, big win against Indiana Wesleyan. A huge second half by Austin Compton, who was 8 of 12 from the field, scored 23 points. Compton had 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Hunter Hollowell with a game-high 9 rebounds, also had 19 points. He was 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in that one. And Connor Lotzenheiser with 16 points, was 4 of 9 from the field. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball action here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the 3rd rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith. and reason.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. We are moments away from the start of this game. Number 15 ranked Bethel College and your University of St. Francis Cougars were preseason ranked number 16, falling out of the top 25. Probable starters for Bethel. Number 1, Trayvon Covington from Snyder High School here in Fort Wayne, 6'1" senior, averaging 10.2 points per game. Number 3, Travion Cruz, 6' sophomore, averaging 21 points per game. Number 4, Ryan Lutz, 6'3" senior, averaging 9.8 points per game. Number 31, Luke Fisher, a 6'8" senior, averaging 6.8 points per game. And number 43, Paul Foreman, the senior from Cherubusco, Indiana, 6'8", averaging 14.1 points per game. For St. Francis, number 10, Chandler White, 6'3" senior, averaging 11 points per game. Number 11, Connor Lotzenheiser, 6'2" junior, averaging 14.8 per. Number 31, Austin Compton, averaging 9.8 points per game, 6' junior. 42, Hunter Hollowell, and number 32, Jeffrey Reynolds, the freshman. We're going to send it down to the floor.
On the board, we thank you for giving us the gift of this day as athletes, coaches, officials, and fans. Keep us all safe today, free from harm and injury. Help us to love and respect each other and ourselves. And the words of St. Francis enlighten the darkness of our minds and hearts. Give us a right faith, a firm hope, and a perfect charity, so that we may always and in all things act according to your holy will. Amen. Thank you. There will be no national anthem prior to the win of this game.
We're going to get right into it, folks. We had the national anthem before the women's game, so here we go. St. Francis winning it 83-71 over Bethel, even though Bethel had the lead after the first, at halftime, and third quarter. There he is, Trayvon Covington. Number 3, Travion Cruz. Luke Fisher and Paul Foreman. Ryan Lightfoot's the head coach in his second season, taking over for his dad, an absolute legend at Bethel. Kyle Hartman getting the start for Bethel. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana, Bishop Wenger High School. Transfer from Huntington. Bethel doing pretty good here, coaching Fort Wayne players. Chandler White is starting. Connor Lotzenheiser leads the team in scoring. There's Austin Compton. Jeffrey Reynolds, a high flyer. And number 42, Hunter Hollowell. What a season Hunter is having. Entering today, shooting 51% from beyond the arc, which has him nationally ranked. Hunter Hollowell ranks number 16 in the country, hitting 52% of his three-pointers, 35 of 68. Entering today's game. Hollowell ranks number 26 with 35 three-pointers made, and number 37 averaging 2.9 per game. That's Hunter Hollowell and the Cougs. Jeffrey Reynolds to tip against Paul Foreman, number 43 from Cherubusco, Indiana, Cherubusco High School. Foreman's a good player. Last year he and Gage Ott made a formidable duo. All-American, All-Crossroads League. He did graduate. So it's Lotzenheiser and the Cougs controlling it from the tip. Down low, Reynolds. Reynolds had some big blocks in the last game. That feed goes to Chandler White. Nearly pushed OB by Luke Fisher, who goes 6'8", 215, but the bucket is good by Chandler White. getting the scoring started for your Cougs. Fisher over to Hartman. Hartman's got the tattoo sleeve on his left arm. Down low, Fisher trying to spin against Reynolds, and he's going to cough it up. Turnover by Bethel. Good D. Jeffrey Reynolds is just vastly improved from the start of this season. He has been outstanding. Number 32 for St. Francis, a freshman at 6'7", 185 pounds from Greenwood, Indiana. Reynolds turns it over on the other end, picked up by Fisher. Foreman's a big body for the Pilots. And there you see it, Travion Cruz right there being guarded by Chandler White. Cruz can be taken out of his game. We saw here at the Hut when they took on IU East. Man, Bethel had a big lead, but it was IU East who ended up winning it in the Northern Lakes Insurance Classic here at St. Francis. Three-pointer left short, but an offensive board by Reynolds. Contact with Foreman as that ball was left short. Here in the first half, 2-0 your score. Three-pointer on its way, no good by Cruz, rebounded by Reynolds. IU East won it 79-77 against Bethel. That was here at the Hut on November the 17th. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. White down low, working against Fisher. And Reynolds trying to keep that ball alive. I think he's going to be called with the foul. It goes against 32. His first, team's first. Fisher will get it into Hartman. Hartman entering today, averaging 22.8 minutes played per game, has 35 assists on the season. Hartman top of the key, he's being guarded by Austin Compton. Compton with the bandaged left shoulder. Hartman down low, gets it to go. Not sure what that tape actually does for you, if it helps stimulate the blood, keeps you loose. White, jumper from 10 feet, no good off the heel, rebounded by Cruz, as Cruz nearly traveled there, getting tied up with his feet. Three-pointer by Covington. Trey Covington, nothing but the bottom of the net. Covington averages 10.2 points per game while shooting 37% from beyond the arc. Nobody's taken more three-pointers than Covington, who's taken 81. Nobody in this game's taken more. Reynolds goes out to Hunter Hollowell. Hollowell's hit 35 of 68 three-pointers on the season. Charge going to go against Austin Compton, number 31. Once again, what a game for your Lady Cougars, winning at 83-71 over the Lady Pilots of Bethel. Bethel pretty much led that whole game. St. Francis just took over in the fourth quarter. Winning it by 12 points. Feed goes to Covington. Nowhere to go down the block as he was walled off by White and Reynolds. Baseline jumper is good by Travion Cruz. Cruz's first bucket of the game. Entering today, he's a 53% shooter from the field, which is outstanding for a guard. 36% from beyond the arc is Travion Cruz. Feed goes down low to Reynolds. Cruz, only a sophomore, was a redshirt last year at Bethel. Must be good for him getting in that Bethel weight program. Lotzenheiser gets fouled on the low post. It goes against number 5, Kyle Hartman. Cougars 1 of 4 from the field. Bethel 3 of 5. Cougs out rebounding Bethel 3-2. Surprisingly, St. Francis, an absolutely great rebounding team, as that first one is good. A bunch of Cougs going to check in, including David Miller. St. Francis ranks number 17 in the country with a 3.7 rebounding margin against its opponents. Miller checking in for Reynolds, who's getting a talking to, as both of those are good by Connor Lotzenheiser. Coach Cummings coaching up the true freshman. As reported to me, the bigger guards can shut down Travion Cruz, but we'll see if it happens. Nick Pluta, number 0, the freshman from Springboro, Ohio, with the happy feet. He'll cough it up. So we got our first media timeout here at 15:55. You're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Kroll. Shot hits the post. And the centering feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center, where Bethel leads at 7-4 early on in this one. We're just 4 minutes and 5 seconds in to this game. Other games around the Crossroads League. We have Indiana Wesleyan at Spring Arbor, Grace at Huntington, Mount Vernon Naz at Marion, and Goshen at Taylor. Indiana Wesleyan once again suffered their first conference loss of the season last Tuesday here at the Hut, as blocking is going to be called against Paul Foreman after the Euro by Chandler White. St. Francis winning at 85-71 against Wesleyan. Held Wesleyan's best three-point shooter to 0 of 7 from beyond the arc. Wesleyan was 4 of 20 from three-point land, shooting 20%. Inbounds pass goes to Hunter Hollowell with 22 seconds remaining on the clock. Compton gets it over to Lotzenheiser, who's being guarded by Cruz. Bounce pass goes into Chandler White, and he's going to be fouled once again. That's number 0, Nick Pluta. That'll be his first, team's third here in the first. Chandler White entering today's action, a 62% free throw shooter, hitting 18 of 29, averaging 11 points per game. St. Francis right now 3 of 3 from the charity stripe. Foreman's going to check out, and back into the game is number 31, Luke Fisher. Chandler White hits them both. He now has 4 points, which is a game high. Fisher hands it off to number 22. That's Jared DeHart, newly inserted into this game. Cruz being guarded by Lotzenheiser. Step back jumper from 18 feet, no good, but Pluta gets the board. Now Cruz straight to the cup. High percentage shot for Travion Cruz, who now has 4. Bethel up by 3. Compton down low. That's exactly what Austin Compton does. Absolutely beautiful by number 31. Austin Compton is just so sneaky good. Feet goes down low to Fisher, reverse lay-in. 11-8, Bethel. Compton's going to be picked up by DeHart here in this man-to-man defense. Fisher's got Chandler White. Hunter Hollowell just looking for a little crease as Travion Covington's guarding Hunter. Miller sinks down to the block. Looks like the lob was there for him as Connor Lotzenheiser hits the triple to tie this game up at 11. Triple tries a bullseye for Connor Lotzenheiser, entering today shooting 41% from beyond the arc. Covington for 3. Cannot match. Covington in this game now 0 of 2 from beyond the arc. No, excuse me, Covington's 1 of 2. Now checking into the game will be number 24, Will Crispin, football player for St. Francis, checking in early in this one. Just 6 minutes in. Chrisman, a week ago, pretty much at this time, Will Chrisman was catching a touchdown pass in Sioux City, Iowa against Morningside. Cougars losing it 34-28 in overtime to the number 1 ranked Morningside Mustangs. Pluta for 3, left short, rebounded by Compton. Chrisman trucks up the floor. He literally scored the second touchdown of the game for St. Francis last week on a pass. Lotzenheiser. Miller for 3. Knocks it down. David Miller, his first bucket of the game, gives St. Francis the 3-point edge. Hartman. Compton with the defense on Hartman. Fisher's being guarded by Chrisman. Just enough separation for DeHart to hit the triple. Compton bringing it up with 12:55 to play. We're tied at 14. Brandon Johnson, what a great freshman year he's having for St. Francis. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana Northside, the same school as Trevion Cruz. Blocking foul going to go against Fisher. That'll be his first, team's 4th. Foreman going to check in for Pluta. Luke Fisher's from Archbold, Ohio, Archbold High School. Johnson up top to Will Chrisman. Chrisman's rocking the mustache that he's very proud of in the lane. Beautiful shot by Brandon Johnson. His first 2 of the game gives St. Francis the lead 16-14. Coming up to Hart. Hartman now out of the corner. That was a good pick. They're going to call a foul on Luke Fisher. Illegal screen, as he definitely drew the contact there on, didn't draw the contact, initiated the contact on Compton. Fisher's gone. He's going to take a breather on the bench. Into the game now is Juwan Carpenter from Ben Davis High School out of Indianapolis. Miller, elbow jumper. David Miller has been on fire. Entering today, averaging 6.2 points per game, but shooting 48% from the field. He's already got a triple in this game. He's got 5 points. Cruz down low. Right-handed shot is good for Carpenter. That'll bring his team to within 2. Compton over the timeline. Lotzenheiser goes down to Chrisman. Chrisman spin move on the block, goes off glass. First 2 points of his basketball career. Will Chrisman and the Cougs up by 4. Will Chrisman, who is a basketball standout at DeKalb High School, looks like he's going to be called with the foul, trying to get position on Carpenter. Antoine Cushenberry now checks in for Compton. Cushenberry, who played high school ball at Warren Central, won a state championship last year. Hartman's inbounds finds Foreman, and Foreman expecting some contact from Cushenberry. Cushenberry wisely just stepped back and said, "Take it, big fella." And Foreman missed. What are you going to do? Turnover by St. Francis. Looks like Hunter Hollowell is going to check back in. St. Francis now with 4 turnovers to just 1 for Bethel. Chrisman now staying on the floor, getting a good 3 minutes in. Last game he missed on his 3-pointer, and that was it for Chrisman for the game. He did play 3 minutes, good 3 minutes. Chrisman brings size to St. Francis lineup. Hartman, Carpenter to Cruz for 3. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Trevion Cruz to bring his team to within 1, 20-19 your score. My name is Jeff Mahoney, and on camera we have Morgan Carroll, an ace pitcher for the Cougar softball team. Chrisman down low, draws the contact, gets the bucket, will look for the and 1 for Will Chrisman, now with 4. Christman's strong. He's been in the weight room with the Cougar football team. As we got a timeout here at 10:41. It'll be a 30-second timeout for Bethel College. How about the play of Will Christman? Let's take a look down here, folks. Crispin takes the bounce pass. He's just going to back down Carpenter. Little spin move, and he knows how to finish. Look at Crispin getting jacked here, trying to energize his team, currently up by 3. Once again, what does Will Crispin bring to this team? He's only played 7 minutes in his basketball collegiate career, but here in the paint spin move, he just knows how to score down low. Coach across, Coach Cummings, they're going to love you all day if you continue to attack the cup, and that's exactly what Will Crispin is doing in today's game. Like I said, last game, his only shot was a three-pointer. Coach had said, no. We need you on the block, big fella. First free throw of his career is a miss. So Crispin will stay with 4 points. There's Travion Cruz, who has just been all-world to start his Bethel career. As we got a foul going to go against Paul Foreman, who's bullying Brandon Johnson down there. Crispin's going to take a breather as Jeffrey Reynolds checks back in. Cougars now have some size with Jeffrey Reynolds at 6'7", David Miller at 6'5", and 24 Will Crispin at 6'7". Johnson looking for Cushenberry, goes to Chandler White. Covington's got the defense on White. Both Covington and Chandler White are both very well put together, but Cruz now is going to switch over to Chandler. Meaning those guys are strong. Trayvon Covington's brother Christian Covington, a running back at Indiana State, had to shorten his career early after a spinal injury this year. As a true freshman, though, he was seeing playing time for the Sycamores. Three-pointer off the mark by Reynolds. Hartman with the board. I believe Cruz, also a brother to Covington. It's number 23 for Bethel, Trey Burns. Pluta down low, blocking foul. Is that going to go against Cushenberry? Cushenberry thought he had his feet set. Does go against number 20. That'll be his first, team's 5th. Both Cruz and Covington, you can find them in the summer at Mack Park here in Fort Wayne, bettering their game. Biggie Swanigan was there. How about VJ Beecham? The star at Notre Dame was also there as Pluta hits the first free throw. He's now 1 of 1 from the charity stripe with 1 point. Pulls his team to within 2. Like I said, Bethel doing good, pulling some players out of Fort Wayne. Bethel pulls to within 1 now. Down 22-21. 9:42 left to play here in the first. Compton down low finds Reynolds all alone. Throw it down, big man. And they're gonna call offensive goaltending? Waving it off? He didn't touch it again. St. Francis fans saying, call the foul. Reynolds down low, hangs on the rim, I guess because the ball touched his hand. Let's look at it one more time. Reynolds goes up. And once again, you got to allow somebody to hang on it a little bit when there's players underneath. I hate seeing these guys, they get scared of hanging on the rim, so they let go early. There's been some nasty collisions. I've even seen one guy land on the back of his head because he didn't want to hang on the rim, and his momentum took his feet all the way on the other side of the backboard. That was a scary fall. Feed goes down low to Hartman. The big man, fadeaway jumper off the heel. Boy, Chandler White just worked right through Hartman like it was nothing. Nice tip out by Jeffrey Reynolds to Compton. Now White for 3. What a sequence by the Cougars, who go up by 5. Chandler White How about Jeffrey Reynolds with that tip out, Trey Burns? That was a lofty three-pointer, rebounded by Hollowell. Inside 9 minutes to play. Lotzenheiser for three. Left shore, another tip out by Jeffrey Reynolds. Jeffrey Reynolds going to make the All-Crossroads League freshman team. I can smell it. White's shot was off the mark. Travion Cruz has 7 points for Bethel College. That is a game high so far for the sophomore. Burns on the near wing. Cruz being guarded by Compton. Goes down low to Pluto. Travel. Turnover called against Pluto. That'll be his third. Will Crispin going to check back into this game for St. Franny. He comes in for Reynolds. Jeffrey Reynolds. Where's the round of applause from the fans? Look at those tip outs on those rebounds. Great job, Reynolds. Jeffrey is so much fun to watch dunking the basketball. Granted, we've only seen a few two-hand flushes so far, but if the Crossroads League had a dunk contest, Reynolds would be right up there with the best in the CL. Why don't they have a dunk contest? Chandler White being guarded by Covington. Entrance pass goes to Will, who had it knocked away from behind by number 31, Luke Fisher. Wesleyan, the number 1 ranked team in the land, Marion at number 5, and Mount Vernon Naz at number 6. Crossroads League always representing in the coaches' top 25. Bethel at 15, Spring Arbor at number 23. Will down low, looking to go off glass, gets fouled and will head to the free throw line. He's 0 of 1 in his collegiate basketball career from the charity stripe. Media timeout here at 7:59. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off today. Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center. St. Francis up 25-21. Cougars shooting 56% from the field on 9 of 16 shooting. 3 of 6 from beyond the arc and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Out rebounding Bethel 10-6. Bethel 8 of 16 from the field, 3 of 7 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. Assistant coaches for Bethel, Drew Schaus, Ryan M., and Will Abbott. Associate head coach for St. Francis is Luke Cumming. Assistant coachings, the coaches are Jeremy Henney, Todd Martin, Austin Leisure, Jeff Dollins, and Zach Welkland. Will Crispin now 1 of 2 from the free throw line in his college career. Second one's good as well. Crispin now with 6 points in this game. Just 1 point behind Chandler White for a team high. Cruz with the catch and fire. Knocks it down. Well, that was pretty. St. Francis up by 3, 27-24. Lotzenheiser, Euro, nice find to Crispin. No foul called as there was plenty of contact there on the block. Crispin was darting on the baseline. Lotzenheiser was in a little bit of trouble there in the lane, but a nice looking pass. Top of the keys, Hartman. To Hart, Cruz. Pluta. Good ball movement on the perimeter for Bethel with 14 seconds. That was a two-pointer. No, they're going to call it a three. Could have swore his foot was inside the line. We're tied at 27. That was Trevion Covington. Lotzenheiser, dribble drive from the near wing, floater in the lane, rims in for Connor. Lotzenheiser, that'll be his 7th point of the game. Strong on that floater, but Lotzenheiser gets it to fall. The leader of this Cougar team, averaging 14.8 points per game. Cruz elbow, left short, rebounded by White. Compton's going to bring it up. White sinks on the block. Compton gets his own rebound. Hunter Hollowell for three. No good, as that one was from 25 feet out. Hartman now right-hand dribble drive. Nearly has a swipe from behind by Chandler White. Foul goes against Chandler, number 10. That'll be his first, team 6th. St. Francis currently in the bonus, as Bethel has 18 fouls. Hartman's inbounds pass, and we had a little bit of contact there. It goes against Lotzenheiser, which will be his second, team 7th. Both teams now in the bonus. Nick Pluta back to the free throw line, where he's a perfect 2 of 2 in this game. First one, no good, so he misses the front end. But an offensive rebound for Bethel. Stahart goes to Cruz. Nice ball movement. Pluta finding Cruz. Cannot hit. We'll go the other way with it with St. Francis. Look at Compton. Hartman went for the steal. Compton ripped it away. Now it's Dave Miller. Step back jumper from 10 feet is good. David Miller doing a great job in this game, shooting from the field. He now has 7 points. Loose ball picked up by Hollowell. Bounce pass goes into White, who coughs it up. For St. Francis, their 7th turnover of the game. Bethel currently with 3. Brandon Johnson going to check in for Chandler White. (31-27) is your score. Oh boy, what happened there as Dominic Genko from Zionsville is left all alone. Miller down low, looking for the hook shot. No foul called on the play, but Miller gets his own rebound. Good hustle play by number 33. Compton calling for the pick as Pluta comes all the way out. That leaves Miller down low, all alone. Nice find by Compton as St. Francis takes the 4-point lead, 33-29. Pluta hands it off to Cruz. Genko, who once again had the free trip down Broadway with that last layup. The streets were plowed on that one. Covington for 3 from downtown, misses short. Off the front of the iron, rebounded by Lotzenheiser. Brandon Johnson here in the far near corner as the three-pointer's off the mark by Miller. Lotzenheiser chases down the rebound. Cougs out-rebounding Bethel 15-8. Traveling going to be caught on Miller. So 34-29 is your score. 4:10 left to play. Antoine Cushenberry set to check in as Cruz goes straight to the cup. Cruz now with a game-high 15 points. Scoring early and often for Trevion Cruz, who's well above his season average here in this game. Lotzenheiser misses on the three-pointer. Covington tracks it down for the defensive board. Cruz, Genko, Covington, left-hand dribble drive, Euro in the lane. Just what he needed to tie this game up at 33. St. Francis with 306 defensive rebounds, ranks him number 17 in the country as Austin Compton finishes to give St. Francis back the lead. Cougars average 32.5 defensive rebounds a game. Genko steps right into that three, no good. Dominic Genko, 6'3", 170 from Zionsville, Indiana, just a sophomore. Lotzenheiser hung in the air, had that one blocked by Carpenter. No foul called as the Cougar fans are irate. Cruz working off that pick by Carpenter as he stumbles to the ground. DeHart looking for the step back, goes down to Carpenter on the low block. Left hand hook shot's good. We are tied at 35. Timeout going to be called by Coach Chad Lacrosse here with 2:30 left to play. A 30-second timeout. Let's take a look at that last play by Austin Compton. There's Compton right there on point, switches to the left, drives straight to the cup with the scoop shot. He can score either way from the left or the right, does Compton. There's another one from St. Francis. Compton, one of the most exciting point guards you're going to find in the Crossroads League. What a beautiful feed. The help defense went to Compton. He went to his man, David Miller. Miller's got 9 points, which is a team high for your Cougars. Connor Lotzenheiser with 7 rebounds, a lot of those being offensive boards for Connor. That's Antoine Cushenberry on point. Conlon Martin also into the game. Three-pointer by Hunter Hollowell, halfway down and pops out. Look at Cruz, fast to get it up the floor. Genko to Covington here on the near wing. Trey, pull up, triple, good. Covington now has 8 points. Cushenberry on the other end, working off the pick. Help defense by Carpenter as he sinks back down to the block. Three-pointer is good for Conlon Martin. Martin newly inserted into this game, wasting no time getting on the board. Martin's first 3 of the game. DeHart inside the arc, hits the jumper. It's about a foot away there from making that a triple. 40-38 is your score. Bethel on top. Covington switches on Martin. Antoine Cushenberry drives to the cup. He'll be fouled. Genko with the defense on Cushenberry. Antoine goes 5'8", 160. Foul's called on number 30, Genko. That'll be his first, team's 9th. Cushenberry on the season. This is his first free throw, and it's good. Antoine Cushenberry, perfect 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. We're tied at 40. Cruz to Covington here. Hollowell with some tight D. Nice rebound by Carpenter. They're going to call a foul. That was an offensive board for number 12. Foul goes against number 33, Miller, his first, team's 8th. Shooting the front end of the 1-and-1 will be Carpenter, who is 1 of 2 from the free throw line on the season, just averaging 8.1 minutes played per game. He might surpass that here in the first half. That's left short, rebounded by Hollowell. 58 seconds remaining. This game tied at 40. Possession arrow with Bethel. Miller down low, looking for the reverse. No, he pops out. Easy work for David Miller. Now at the team high 11, gives St. Francis back the lead. What a tight contest we have here at the Hut. Not so much like Tuesday, where St. Francis pretty much owned Indiana Wesleyan, winning it by 14. Wesleyan, once again, the number 1 ranked team in the land. Baseline jumper, no good. That ball is tipped right to Martin. 18 seconds remaining. Cushenberry's going to slow it up, getting instruction from the coaches. Looks like the Cougs are going to settle for a last shot here. Can Cushenberry get it to Mitchell Hollowell for a three-point try? He's going to do a floater. Whoa! Beautiful floater by Antoine Cushenberry as the Cougs will head into the half up 44-40. Folks, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Everything that I do can have an impact on somebody else.
You can dream any dream and you can chase any dream and you can have a chance to succeed at that dream.
We're here just a speck of time.
Given the opportunities to be selfless.
That's what God does with us.
Not forgetting how you got here and who helped you along the way.
What are you doing for others?
Those to whom much has been given, much is expected.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Thank you for supporting Summit City Sports. For the last several years, we've provided the Fort Wayne community and beyond with coverage of a variety of sports, thanks to our title sponsorship from Parkview Sports Medicine. Since we began in 2015, our annual budget has covered the cost of videographers and commentators to over 300 plus games each year. New equipment and maintenance of that equipment, along with increased broadcast rights fees from the IHSAA. This season, we're reaching out to friends, families, and local businesses for additional sponsorships and donations. You can help us grow and get coverage to your favorite team or sport. A Summit City Sports sponsorship or donation will help make that happen. We have the goal of bringing fans live stream games of every SAC game we cover. With the additional funds, we'd invest in mobile internet devices, allowing us to bring our supporters every SAC conference football and boys and girls basketball games live, as well as more coverage for sports like cross country, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, track and field, baseball, and softball. For more information on sponsorships or how to donate, visit summitcitysports.com.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen, and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way. offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
I chose St. Francis because they made a promise that I would have real-world experience that I could take when I graduated, and they delivered on that promise. For me, the classroom only gets you so far, so they're setting you up with an internship. I had a mentor that they set me up with that was a CEO of a DuPont hospital in Fort Wayne. They offer degrees in accounting, business administration, risk management and insurance, marketing, and finance. They just did a great job of the full circle of not only the education but also the experience.
Blood flow restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to a normal workout, the burn comes within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
It may be winter, but it's never too early to start thinking about spring. Start your new year sharp and trust Kurt's Mio to power wash your home. Fair prices, superior quality, and exceptional customer service. Schedule your spring special appointment today. Additional services include concrete sealing, deck and fence cleaning, driveway replacement, and stamped concrete. Give your home the curb appeal it deserves. Just head on over to kurtzmio.com, request your virtual quote, and use the code Summit City for 15% off.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hutzel Athletic Center. St. Francis up 40-40 over the number 15th ranked team in the country in Bethel College. We'll take a look here at the scoring for the Pilots. Travion Cruz with the team high 12 points. He had 3 rebounds. Trayvon Covington with 11 points. Luke Fisher with 2. Hartman with 2. Pluto with 2. Carpenter with 4. Hart with 5. And Dominic Jenko with 2. Leading rebounder was Cruz with his 3. Bethel has a team with only 2 assists. Looking at St. Francis, 11 points for David Miller. That's a team high. 6 for Will Chrisman, the football player turned basketball player, scoring his first ever collegiate bucket in this game. Cushenberry with 4. Brandon Johnson with 2. 3 for Conlon Martin. Austin Compton with 4. Connor Lotzenheiser, 7 points and 7 rebounds. His 7 rebounds is a team or game high. White with 7 points, 3 boards. And Jeffrey Reynolds with 4 rebounds. Jeffrey Reynolds also with the block. He was outstanding with those tip outs there in the first half. Both teams shooting 53% from the field, 6 of 30 for Bethel. 16 of 30 for Bethel, the same for St. Francis. 6 of 14 from beyond the arc for Bethel, 4 of 11 for the Cougs. 2 of 4 from the free throw line for the Pilots, 8 of 9 for St. Francis. The largest lead for Bethel was 5 points, and that was with 16:42 left to play in the first. 6 for St. Francis, that was with 7:59 left to play in the first. The score has been tied 8 times with 4 lead changes. So we'll be right back with you folks before the start of the second half as you're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Restriction training is a new treatment technique we're using at Parkview Sports Medicine that helps us stay on the cutting edge. This type of training is not only new to Parkview Sports Medicine, but in physical therapy as a whole. And it's really gaining popularity because it solves one of the fundamental problems that we see in therapy. We have a lot of patients who we can't put a lot of stress through their injured tissue, but we still want them to get stronger and still want them to gain muscle size. Blood flow restriction training uses a specialized piece of equipment, a blood flow restriction cuff that fits around the upper portion of an arm or a leg. Doing that, then it partially restricts, but not totally occludes the blood flow going to the limb.
I thought it was gonna hurt, and it does kind of feel weird, but doesn't hurt or anything. I just didn't really know what to expect. Well, you put it on and then you have to lay down and let it calibrate, and it like gets tighter and tighter and tighter. And then after that, get in your position to do your workout and then press the inflate button and it'll squeeze your leg or your arm.
What the research is telling us about training with blood flow restriction is that the buildup of the lactic acid and the metabolic stress that we're putting on these tissues helps you gain strength and muscle size, similar to that of training at high intensity.
Compared to like a normal workout, the burn comes like within the third rep, and then the 30-second break in between, there's no like recovery. I can see the difference and feel the difference. It feels a lot more effective than just doing normal exercises.
Blood flow restriction training is the perfect tool to solve that fundamental problem. But this is something that you don't see everywhere, and you don't see very many places in Indiana at all.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Welcome back, folks. Just 3 minutes and 15 seconds away from the start of the second half. I know I showed you this, I believe, earlier in the first half, but look at Compton. Compton's gonna go straight to the cup. That's just what Austin does. Finish in, off balance. No regard for his body for Austin Compton. And then here he draws so much attention. Takes the defender, which is going to leave Miller as he threads the needle. Miller goes off glass. So Compton just attracting so much attention there in the first half. Lots of great plays for the Cougs. There's Chandler White. Driving straight to the cup. You see Reynolds with that tip out. How great is this sequence? That's just hustle plays all day. Lotzenheiser had 7 rebounds. I want to say maybe 3 of those were offensive for the Coug, Connor Lotzenheiser. Love that play right there, though, with Jeffrey Reynolds with the tip out. You can see these freshmen, or the new players, I should say, are really taking Chad Lacrosse's coaching to heart. As you can see right there, just not so sure about that. His hands never leave the rim, but I guess the ball does probably hit off his hand once again. Maybe it would have popped out of the cylinder if Reynolds wasn't hanging on the iron. Once again, these new players are just playing so hard. Check out Will Crispin down low. Watch how pumped he gets. He's going to back down Carpenter. Crispin at 6'7" there. all sorts of contact, but is able to finish off glass. He did miss that free throw, but was able to get back to the free throw line and hit 2 more. So we're about 1 minute away from the start of the second half. We'll be right back with you for more Cougar basketball.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the center feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back here to the hut. About ready to start the second half here. 44-40 is your score. Possession arrow going to go with Bethel to start this one. St. Francis looking for its second straight upset. Remember, just a week ago, St. Francis traveled to number 5 Marion, losing it 92-64. But before that, the previous Wednesday or Tuesday was St. Francis beating Huntington 80-75. So Cougars have played some good games this year. Just need to put together a good stretch on the road. All the losses have come on the road for St. Francis. Down low, Foreman goes up with the right. Gets 2. Foreman now, that's his first bucket of the game. Can you believe it for Paul Foreman? Enters today averaging 14.1 points per game. Chandler White double team, walled off. Nice bounce pass. Lotzenheiser got Cruz up in the air over to Reynolds. Compton will take that triple, but he drives to the cup. Hartman rips it away. Rare turnover there for Austin Compton. To Hart, three-pointer. Off the side of the rim, no good. Going the other way with Compton. Bishop Dwenger coach Matt Kostoff in attendance. Watching his old player Hartman as Reynolds misses. Bishop Dwenger with a huge win yesterday, beating Homestead High School. Foreman back to Covington, 18-38. Feed down low. Does find Hartman for the bucket as we're tied at 44. Coach Across is going to get David Miller off the bench. Most likely to get Reynolds out of this game. Lotzenheiser needs to get rid of it. That's knocked away by number 22, Jared DeHart, the freshman from Trafalgar, Indiana, Indian Creek High School. Foreman down low. He's got the first 2 points for Bethel here in the second half. Cannot hit there. And a foul going to go against Chandler. That'll be his third, team's first. Miller checks in for Reynolds. Chandler White not too happy down there on the floor for the Cougs. Hartman, right-hand take, finds DeHart all alone. Three-pointer is no good, though. Rebounded by Chandler White. Remember, Bethel shooting 40% from beyond the arc there in the first half. Cruz up to Covington, looking for the reverse lay-in, and that one's no good as he was falling way too far away from the cup. Tied at 44, 2.5 minutes into the second half. Lotzenheiser, Compton's all alone there. Hartman was about 8 feet off of him. Nice feed down low to Miller. What a find by Austin Compton as the Cougs go back up by 2, 46-44 is your score. That was outstanding by Mr. Austin Compton. Foreman trying to back down. White is not having any of it. Is Chandler. That will result in a traveling turnover. Brandon Johnson now checks in for Chandler White. Austin Compton now with 4 assists. Johnson down low, reverse lane, just got hung up, but getting his own rebound. That's going to roll around, and they'll call a foul against number 5. (16:35) and counting here in the second. As Cruz gets it over the timeline. Cruz early on in this season looking like the Crossroads League Player of the Year, and he had a great first half there for Bethel. Foreman did not finish, but a foul going to go against Miller. Travion Cruz, I tried to read off all of his national rankings. I did it at the beginning of the broadcast. Not sure if I have enough wind to get it done right here in the second half. Needless to say, he ranks number 9 in the country with 273 points. Foreman, just his 3rd point of the game, entering today a 73% free throw shooter, hitting 54 of 74. Cruz ranks number 6 in assists, number 1 in steals with 32 entering today's game. I mean, every category you would want Cruz to be ranked in, he is, outside of 3-point field goal percentage and field goal percentage. And he's shooting 53% from the field. It's like, what do you got to do? Compton hung up there by Hartman. Hartman actually has played some good defense on Compton, as good as you can, against the wily vet, number 31, Austin Compton. Cruz, inside 16 minutes to play. Foreman being guarded by Lotzenheiser. So about a 4-inch differential there as Miller comes down with the board. Cougs are running with Compton. Lotzenheiser, extra pass goes to Hollowell out of the corner. Just left short on the three-pointer. Compton with the rebound. And the bucket's good as he flexes for the folks from Mishawaka. Love Austin Compton's game. He's no scrub, folks, as he was called last year by an opposing coach that got handled by the Cougs in the national tournament. Johnson all alone for 3. Knocks it down. First triple of the game for Brandon Johnson. Love it, love it, love it. Johnson now with 5. Cougs up 51-46. That's a 5-point lead for the Cougs. Foreman nearly has it ripped away by Compton. Skip past to Covington. To Hart for 3. Strong as the back rim's no good. Lotzenheiser now over to Hunter. Hart up to Hartman. Hartman's going to go, ooh, little extra step there in the lane. That's a travel. Looked for the Euro, but had to get that left foot down before he lost balance. Media timeout here with 14:34 to play. You're watching Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Well, how about the start of the second half for Austin Compton? We're going to take a look at this replay right there. Running the show, gives it up to Lotzenheiser, over to Hollowell. His three-pointer's off the mark, but Compton goes up high to get it, and then the reverse lay-in. Doesn't matter that Austin Compton is 6 foot, 165 pounds. That man's heart is bigger than any two players put together on this floor. Brandon Johnson hit the triple then in the next series. Brandon on the season, a 33% shooter from beyond the arc, hitting 3 of 9 entering today's game. So now 4 of 10, a 40% three-point shooter. 51-46, your score. Love watching Austin Compton play. He's only a junior. Hollowell, the catch and shoot. Another one left short. Today has not been Hunter Hollowell's day. He's now 0 of 5 from beyond the arc. Obviously, he's the kind of shooter, though, that you want to keep on shooting. I always love it when the fans say, how much are you paying the refs? Because they do get paid, obviously. It's their job to ref these games. I don't know. What do they make, $120 a game? It's more than I make. Got a technical foul going to be called against Bethel. Man, fourth foul for number 31, Luke Fisher. Will Crispin's going to shoot the free throws. Crispin 2 of 3 from the charity stripe in this game. Wide receiver on the football team at 6'7", about 225 pounds. First one halfway down falls out for Crispin. So he's now shooting 50% from the free throw line in his college career. Second one's good. That'll extend the Cougar lead to 6 points. Trayvon Cruz has been a little quiet here in the second half. He's got 12 points. Cruz did have 12 in the first half, so yet to score. Compton's going to set it up for Coach Lacrosse and the Cougs. Crispin working against Pluta as he sets the pick. Now he'll sink down to the block. Conlon Martin looking for Crispin. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Nice extra step in the lane as Crispin was able to knock it away from Pluta, but Hartman comes up with the board. Looks like Pluta and Hartman almost have matching tattoos. Covington checks out for Bethel. Hartman going to check out as well, as back in is Genko. (52-46). 13:30 left in the second half. Lotzenheiser almost looked for the hook there on Genko. Just outsmarted him though. What a move by Austin Compton. That'll be his 9th point of the game. Or excuse me, by Connor Lotzenheiser. Foreman, Genko. The pass fake. He's looking for the foul. That's going to be last touch by Compton. Like Will said, though, it's not quite in basketball shape yet. He said he was really tired after the 3 minutes played in the Indiana Wesleyan game. You can see him gassed a little bit down there. I'm really excited to see what this extra competition and play on the basketball floor brings to his football play. As Will Crispin with the defense on Foreman forces the shot clock violation. Turnover by Bethel, their 8th of the game, 10 for St. Francis. 54-46. Johnson in the lane. Pops out to Lotzenheiser, going to be called with the travel. Kyle Sovine and Bryce Linup in attendance here for today's game. Linup, the three-time All-American for your Cougs. 2016, 17, and 18. Sovine playing professional basketball in Australia, doing very well. Sovine at 6'9". Oh, he can shoot it. Foreman, miscommunication there with Cruz. Banks closed. Cushenberry into the game for St. Francis. He and Johnson in the backcourt. No look goes over to Chrisman as they easily break the press. Martin now back over to Johnson, who hit his last three-pointer taken, only three-pointer taken in this game. In the lane, gives it up to Chrisman, who drives to the cup. Off glass, Will Chrisman with his 9th point of the game for number 24. Cruz over to Ganko. No travel called there as he was tied up for a second. Ganko doing a good job of finishing. Martin for three. Knocks it down. Conlon Martin, second three-pointer of the game. 59-48, biggest lead of the game for St. Francis here at 11 points. Foreman down low. That time, boy, just kind of inserting his will. So if you guys aren't going to stop me, I'm getting this one. Pump fake by Chrisman, spin move, draws the contact, will head to the free throw line. Chrisman right now 3 of 5 from the charity stripe, 3 of 4 from the field, putting in good minutes. Still looking for his first rebound. Will's got to get a rebound here. Would prefer if he just makes both of these free throws first. As he hits the first. 60-50 your score. Lotzenheiser checks out. Hunter Hollowell's back in. Fisher's going to check in for Foreman. Hartman's in, DeHart, Cruz, and Covington. Second free throw by Chrisman. That one rims out. Rebounded by Fisher. 60-50 is your score. Chrisman just took him off the board with 11 points. DeHart down low. Fisher's pass goes to Hartman. Back to DeHart. In the paint, 10-footer, no good. And that's tipped by Fisher nearly into the cup. How cool would that shot have been if he would have made it? Foul goes against Fisher. That'll be his 5th. He gone. Foreman's going to check back in. 10:53 left to play. Actually, a year ago, this game here at Bethel, it was St. Francis Biggs fouling out. Bryce Linup had fouled out, and Stephen Turner had fouled out, and the Cougs had to go to back to the action. 10:40 left to play. Devin Tennant, that's right. Devin Tennant came in and filled in admirably. Tennant no longer with the Cougars. He and Jordan Matthews no longer on the team, as that's a traveling going to be called by St. Francis. Tennant was averaging 11.8 minutes played per game and 5.5 points per game. Matthews, 17 minutes per game. Foreman, no travel called. Hollowell picks up the loose ball. Good defense by the Cougs. Cushenberry pushing it. Johnson now in the lane, finds Conlon Martin for 3. The catch and shoots left short. Martin is now 2 of 3 from three-point land. 60-50 is your score. Another loose ball picked up by Cushenberry. Oh, he was looking for the lob to Miller. How great would that have been? but there's a foul called on the play. Cushenberry's going to head to the free throw line as he was pushed from behind. If he hadn't been pushed, that would have been Highlight City, the lob to Miller. Foul goes against number 22, DeHart, his first, the team's fourth. Cush getting some good minutes in this game. 1 of 1 from the field and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. 1 rebound, 2 assists. Now he's 3 of 3. Cougs really starting to form their identity here as we're approaching the midway mark of the season. I guess in about a month. That'll be in January. 62-50 is your score. Nah, you could call it the midway mark because it's only conference games from here on out. And the best conference in the country this year might even be the best the Crossroads League has been ever, really. Cushenberry misses, no foul called. He's not happy about it. Trey Covington on the other end does get it to fall. Covington now with 13 points. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Crossroads League is always strong. But folks, there are 3 Crossroads League teams that are in the top 6. The Cougs out of Ohio are strong right now, Mount Vernon Navs. Hollowell with the right hand, no good. Compton's going to check back in for St. Francis. Covington can't finish and steps on the baseline to turn it over. 9:06 left to play. Spring Arbor leads Indiana Wesleyan 58-55. That's at Spring Arbor. Not an easy place to play in their newly renovated gym. Huntington's beating Grace 49-42. Latzenheiser over to Johnson. Compton being guarded by Hartman. Finds Hollowell. And the three-pointer is good for Hunter Hollowell. He's now 1 of 5 from three-point land. That's a big one, though, to extend this lead to 13 points. Remember, Cougs last game beat Indiana Wesleyan by 14 points. Noticing a theme here. Latzenheiser with the rebound. Johnson, right hand takes, going to get all the way to the cup. And Miller's there with the putback, but they'll call him over the back on 33. His third foul and the team's fourth. .809 left here in the second half. As the handoff goes to Cruz. Cruz still sitting with 12 points. Averaging 21 points per game. St. Francis shutting him down here in the second. Strong take by Covington. Another one falls. Trevion Covington now with 15 points, which is a team high. It's actually a game high. David Miller with 13 for St. Francis. Compton lost the ball there for a second. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Elbow that was stripped away by Cruz. Cruz now looking for the outlet pass. Instead, Hartman goes to Covington. Led him just a bit too much. Timeout going to be called here by Coach Chad Lacrosse. We'll be right back with you at more Cougar basketball here from the Hutzel Athletic Center.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Brooks steals it, tips it away to himself. He'll go to the hoop and slam it down.
They attack, they get a great shot.
Here he comes. And Lucas Crawl. Shot hits the post. And the center feed to Luke Gibson. Shot scores.
Rush comes. Oh, almost picked off by Ethan Hoover.
And the takedown.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center. You're listening to the Cougar Marching Pride back there. St. Francis shooting 49% from the field, 41% from beyond the arc, and 80% from the free throw line. Out rebounding Bethel, currently 32-22. An outstanding game here. Back-to-back games put together by St. Francis. Once again, coming off the big 14-point win against Indiana Wesleyan, the number one ranked team in the country. That's Chandler White being guarded by Cruz. They'll call number 3 with a foul. That'll be the first in this game for Travion Cruz. Cruz once again still with 12 points. Remember Cruz in the first half. And that's exactly what he had with his 3 rebounds. Compton, Hartman's with the defense. Feeds it into Miller, down low, working against Carpenter. Haven't seen a whole lot of Carpenter here in the second half, because that fadeaway is no good, just strong. Baseline jumper by DeHart. Halfway down, no good. Lotzenheiser with the board. Up next for St. Francis will be the Southeastern Classic in Lakeland, Florida. Cougs always loving that trip. Good winter break to be in Lakeland, Florida. What just happened? Looks like Compton is holding his jaw. Not sure if he took an elbow from Cruz in the backcourt. They just called a foul on Cruz. Wow. I don't know what was going on over there. Bethel fans not too pleased. As you can probably hear some of these boos. Coach Lightfoot also not very happy. .25 seconds on the shot clock. I don't think there was a foul call. Nice bounce pass to Covington. Foreman with the assist. Inside 6 minutes left to play. St. Francis holding on to a 9-point edge. Compton has it swiped away by Hartman. Hartman's played some good defense. Bishop Dwenger grad, also a transfer from Huntington to Bethel. So Compton back to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2. The first one's no good. That's actually Austin's first free throw attempt. He's shooting 70% on the season. 21 of 30 is what he's hit. Second one's good. USF back with a 10-point advantage. A lot of Cougar football players in attendance. See Eli Wallace down there, Rob Brown. Blocking foul going to be called. Goes against Compton. That'll be his second. fifth team foul. Foreman, perfect 2 of 2, make it 2 of 3 now from the free throw line. Both teams with 5 timeouts remaining. Second one is good for Foreman. Pull his team to within 9. That's the 7th point for Paul Foreman in this game. Miller, top of the key. David once again with a team high 13 points. Covington has a game high with 17. Covington's going to pick up his first foul there. That'll be the team's 7th. Put St. Francis in the bonus. Hollowell heading to the free throw line. His first trip to shoot the front end. A 62% free throw shooter. That one rims in for Hunter. Back to a 10-point advantage for St. Francis. Second's good as well. .5:18 left to play as Cruz trying to conserve as much time as possible. Nice bounce pass to Covington. Covington's having a big second half here. Had 11 in the first half, now with 8. Just seems like for Bethel, he's the only one getting it done consistently. Oh boy. Charge call on Chandler White. Covington 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc with 12 points. Once again, Cruz, Johnson's going to check in for White as he knocks over some Gatorade cups. Hartman, left off glass, good. Good contact from Compton, was able to finish. Those two have been battling all game long. That's Hartman's 6th point. Timeout going to be called by Coach Chad Lacrosse. That'll be a full timeout. We'll be right back with you with more Cougar basketball here from the Hut.
Grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
The Chapel project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Welcome back to the Hutzel Athletic Center, folks. Spring Arbor now up 75-63 over Indiana Wesleyan. The Wildcats looking like they're going to get back-to-back losses for the first time this year, but there is 8 minutes left to play, and now it's 75-66. Huntington is beating Grace 57-51. That's all the updates we have from the Crossroads League. As Hartman cannot finish the three-point play. 68-61, 4:40 left. Coach across in the Cougs with 4 timeouts remaining. Bethel with 5. Possession arrow in favor of St. Francis. Hollowell gives it up to Miller with the baseline jumper. That will be tipped once again. Nice tip by Miller, getting it away from Foreman, who was trying to get up to Covington. against Johnson. Brandon looks like he got hit in the nose. Compton bounce pass, just gets through the hands of Miller. Compton for three, left short. Lotzenheiser with the offensive board. How great has Connor Lotzenheiser been in this game? He now has 11 rebounds to go with his 9 points. One more will give him a double-double. Long three-pointer. Lotzenheiser fall down. Miller's there with the putback. 70-61 your score. Cruz has yet to score in the second half. Elbow, no good by DeHart. Compton picks up his dribble, gives it up to Johnson. Brandon doing a good job of getting away from DeHart, now double team. Nice feed to David Miller down low. The beautiful assist from Brandon Johnson. Moves back up to 11 as Lotzenheiser keeps it alive. Compton getting his instructions from Coach Lacrosse. Once again, they're going to call a travel this time on Compton. Just amazed on how he's able to do it down there on the block. Full timeout going to be called this time by Bethel College. We'll keep it right here. And check this play out. There's Brandon Johnson. Doing a great job on the dribble drive. Finding Miller. Cruz was right there on his right hip. Miller had the seam though. David Miller now with a team high 17 points. Entering today's game, Miller averaging just 6.2 points per game. Another bright spot for St. Francis has been the play of Conlon Martin. A catch and shoot guy. He's 2 of 3 from three-point, has 6 points. Good work there by Conlon Martin. Yeah, this is another fun play. You got Connor Lotzenheiser. Takes it right there, top of the key. Acting like Austin Compton there for a second, just being deceitful. Gets it around number 30. For Bethel, that's Dominic Janko. For the 2. 72-61 is your score here at the Hub, with just 2:30 left to play. Update for you, it's now 77-72, Spring Arbor on top of Wesleyan. So ever since I said Wesleyan's going to drop 2 in a row, they've been inching closer and closer to regaining the lead or taking over the lead. Foreman getting fouled down the block. Goes against 33, Miller. Huntington 65-59 over Grace. For David, that'll be his 4th foul. Foreman's got a different free throw style there as he kicks that left foot back. 73% free throw shooter, though, on the season. It's not too bad. That's his first miss, now 2 of 3 in today's game. Pulls Bethel to within 10 with 2:22 left to play. Compton trapped. Johnson now pretty much all alone. Cougs trying to burn this clock. Hartman knocks it away from Lotzenheiser, so 11 seconds remains on the shot clock. Both teams are in the bonus here. Bethel with 7 fouls, St. Francis with 8. Lotzenheiser dips the shoulder. Contact, no foul called, but the bucket is good for Connor Lotzenheiser, who now has 11 points and a double-double in this game to go with his 10 rebounds. Nice play by Connor Lotzenheiser. Compton picks up his 4th foul. Foreman hits the first free throw. He is now 4 of 5. Foreman now with 9 points. Remember at halftime, Paul had 0 points. So he and Covington doing all the scoring for Bethel here in the second half. Compton's going to call a timeout. That'll be a 30-second for Coach Lacrosse. So we're going to listen to the Cougar Marching Pride here. Johnson's triple here. Nice. Johnson now 4 of 10 on the season, 3-point. There's 1:27 remaining as the Cougars looking for back-to-back wins. The low point of the season happened just a week ago, the 92-64 loss at Marion. But since then, St. Francis has been fantastic as Compton heads to the free throw line. Cougars 3-3 against top 25 opponents. Beat Indiana Tech, number 5 ranked. Lost to Cornerstone, number 7 ranked. Lost to Tech, number 5 ranked. Beat number 2 ranked IU East. Beat number 1 Indiana Wesleyan. About to beat number 15 Bethel. (64-75) is your score. Bounce pass goes to DeHart. Cannot hit on the reverse land. Hollowell with the board. Approaching 1 minute left to play in this game. Bethel down by 11. Cruz with the foul on Johnson. Cruz just his second foul of the game. Check out Travion Cruz' numbers here. Trevon Cruz, 5 of 11 from the field, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 points. All below his season averages. He averages 8.5 rebounds per game. As Brandon Johnson continues to add to his point total. Second one good as well. Johnson now with 7 points, 77-64, 13-point ad. Foreman driving. Bethel just cannot hit their layups. Hartman tries to get a hand in on Lotzenheiser as he is trapped with Covington. Hartman, foul's going to go against number 5. That'll be his 4th. 10 fouls now for Bethel. Connor now with 13 points, like we've lost our live feed for the stats. Not sure if I'm going to be able to get you updated stats here. We'll have to wait till they come in. Hunter Hollowell and Miller, Lotzenheiser, Johnson, Compton all leaving the game. Bunch of new guys on the floor for St. Francis as Cruz hits the jumper. 78, 60, 79, 66. Cruz now 14. That's his first bucket of the second half. Jalen Mall gets it up to Antoine Cushionberry. Conlon Martin on the floor along with Will Crispin and number 4, James Mayberry. James is senior for the Cougs. Plainfield High School out of Indianapolis. Martin looking for his third three, knocks it down. Martin now 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. DeHart on the other end hits a triple. And 5.8 seconds remaining. That will do it. As the Cougars are going to take this win over Bethel, 82-69 for St. Francis' second consecutive win. Big game here for Connor Lotzenheiser with the double-double. It's going to be hard to choose your player of the game, but we'll go ahead and give it to David Miller, who has 17 points on 6 of 9 shooting, doing a fantastic job as the Cougars once again, second straight upset over a top 25 opponent. Cougars' record against the top 25 now extends to 4-3 on the season as St. Francis plays the toughest schedule in the NAIA year in, year out. Last year, the strength of schedule was number 1 as well. We'll see if there's any other updates here. Looks like Huntington beating Grace 77-68. Just 1 minute remaining there. Spring Arbor's extending their lead to 10, up 87-77. So it looks like we're going to be still not having the stats here. I'm sorry we lost the live feed, but that will do it here from the Hut. What a game. 82-69. St. Francis winning it over Bethel. Folks, thanks again so much for joining us. My name is Jeff Mahoney. We had Morgan Carroll and Tristan Woods splitting time on the camera. Have a great rest of the weekend.